some of these people fail to realize, down in Alabama, who's broke, down in Louisiana, who's broke. I can go through pretty much the entire South and tell you that they're broke, and they rely on a lot of welfare from the government. To be perfectly honest, it is tax dollars from these big blue states like New York. Yeah, they send a lot of money into taxes, and then broke states end up benefiting from it, and now they're about to find out. So we're in the find out phase.
You guys aren't going to believe this shit. I'll make it fast, but stay to the end for the kicker. You remember the last few years when you could not find a single family home, and if you could, you probably couldn't afford it because you had corporate interests like Zillow and BlackRock. They were coming in, heavily investing in the real estate market, wiping the single family homes off the market so the average person could not even buy one. Fast forward to this week, I'm sure you've seen the story of the Missouri farmer, the young guy who was at risk of losing his farm because the grant that he was going to receive to reimburse him for all these expenses he had been cut. Well, look, they've also cut U.S. aid, which gave farmers millions and millions of dollars because they would buy their crops and then send them overseas or send them, places here in the United States to help people in need, but it also helped the farmers. Well, I found out today that there is a website called Acre Trader. Acre Trader is a company that heavily invests in agricultural land. So you can go invest in these farms that are failing, that somehow they're just starting to fail, and you can just buy them up. Well, guess who heavily funded Acre Trader? JD fucking Vance. Do you think they're out here just destroying these small farms so they can buy them up, all these tech bros? Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it?
I just feel like I've just been swept up in a dustpan and thrown out.
James Diaz started his job at the IRS office in Galesburg last April. First as a tax advisory specialist, then a few months later as a fuel compliance officer, a move he took as a promotion with a pay raise.
This right here is my termination letter.
A week ago today, Diaz was fired, receiving a letter from the Federal Office of Personnel Management.
Here's where it comes. Taking into account your performance and in light of mission needs, the agency finds that your continued employment at this agency is not in the public interest.
Diaz is a combat veteran. He served in the Army during the first Gulf War. After working as a truck driver and in manufacturing factories, he got his college degree in 2020.
I am upset, mad, and just confused at how they could treat people who put their life on the line for the country, who put themselves in harm's way, can be treated like this.
He says his OMP letter implies he was underperforming, something he calls a lie.
This was my first boss's narrative on my performance.
Diaz showed us his performance reviews.
You consistently take steps to identify and avoid work delays. You attempt to use your time in an efficient manner, whether waiting on customers, researching, or other duties assigned. You keep yourself constantly busy with productive work. Absolutely directly contradicts what I've got in that OPM letter.
He took pride working for the federal government. Now, as he's left to find a new job, all he feels is frustration.
I voted for Trump, but I still support, a lot of his policies. But I don't necessarily support the method that he's implementing them. Like, to me, there's no thought behind it. It's just chop and roll, and then we'll fix it at the other end. A lot of us didn't deserve this.
I mean, 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
So you regret voting for Trump?
I did.
Why?
Because he's done lost his mind.
But why did y'all even go in there and tap that man's name? Like, you really thought he was going to do something good?
Donald Trump!
God, bro, the markets have actually been so shit. I'm losing so much fucking money. I literally didn't, bro. Just so you guys get perspective, I lost money this month. I haven't made any fucking money trading. I lost so much money in crypto. I am negative on the month.
What was it like for you when you got the news that you were being let go?
It was really hard. I was on the phone with my best friend Kaylee at the time, and we were just discussing her life and how things were going. And I looked at my phone and I had gotten a text from our union rep, and he told me that I was going to be fired the next day. And I told her, I have to go. I'm getting fired tomorrow. And my heart just sank and I had a huge pit in my stomach, and nobody wants to hear that news. You know, it's not something that I'd wish on anyone, and it's something really hard to go through. It's hard from my perspective to approach the current administration with hope. You know, I've been dealing with infertility now for about a year. I've had multiple surgeries in my life. So, you know, going into the voting booth, the main thing on my mind was the same thing I'd been thinking about for the past 11 months. And it was, you know, I want to be a mom. And women who have gone through that experience, that heartbreaking feeling of wanting something that you might never have, they understand how much of your time is taken up with those thoughts and how overwhelming and lonely it can feel. So as someone who is more of a swing voter, you know, sometimes that's what it comes down to, is those single issues.
Riley, do you now regret the way you voted for Trump?
I do feel regret, and I've had a lot of tumultuous thoughts about that day in the election booth. You know, when you're voting on something that affects you so personally, you know, it's really easy to get tunnel vision, especially in a voting booth when you're staring at, you have two options, right? I mean, it's not like you're given an endless amount of options to achieve your goals. And so afterwards, when I thought maybe this is my chance, you know, I also had to come to terms with the fact that I was likely going to be a part of, you know, taking chances away from other groups of people, and that's never sat well with me.
It comes with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Still trying to figure out this whole duet stitch thing. I made a mistake. I thought I'd heard that there was no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. Seems I was wrong, and I'm willing to own my mistakes. They weren't in the bill. So hopefully this works out how that's supposed to work out on this duet thing. Still learning it. So once again, I was wrong. I own my mistakes. Someone said you should duet it. So I think that's what I'm doing right now, is duetting it to make it so that I can show that I was wrong. I own my mistakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is something going on here in America, and even some MAGA Republicans are fed up. So Representative Diana Harshbarger was in East Tennessee yesterday holding a town hall, and she called Donald Trump's victory a mandate, and the crowd shot that down right away, started booing her. Many of these people, Republicans, ladies and gentlemen, Republicans. It's very important to note. Then you have Representative Keith Self. He held a town hall in Wiley, Texas, and there were chants of vote him out, and he left the stage. Again, many of his constituents, many of these people, Republicans. And I also found it extremely interesting. Roger Marshall, who's a complete douchebag and a MAGA moron, also held a town hall. And he's a senator in Kansas, and he holds this town hall in Kansas. One of his constituents, a veteran, stands up and says he's worried about veterans losing their jobs. Literally 20 seconds later, he gets up and leaves, and he doesn't even answer the question, and then he's booed. Democrat Congressman Tom Suozzi received a huge standing ovation in a Trump +5 congressional district at Hofstra University after talking about how despicable Donald Trump was, his behavior in the Oval Office with Vladimir Zelensky. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something going on in America. All this stuff happened just over the weekend. People are getting fed up. There is buyer's remorse. We know we have that on the left, but we're getting that more on the right now as people are losing their jobs, people are losing their livelihoods, and they're getting no explanation from the Trump administration, and they're certainly not getting any explanation from the people who are supposed to be working for them that are Republicans, who many of these people voted for. They're getting booed out of these events, and I think it's saying something as to where we are at right now as America. People are fucking fed up.
I think a lot of white people right now are sitting with, probably not even sitting with, I think are reacting out of the panic that we are reactionary to what the fuck happens in this world. Because so many communities outside of whiteness, specifically the black community, told us this shit was coming. And now we're here. And now a fuckload of European Americans are like, oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? I didn't know it was going to be this bad. Can you believe this is happening? Oh my fucking God. And so many other communities, again, outside of whiteness are like, yeah, bitch, we told you this was coming. And you didn't listen. And so we react, right? Out of panic, out of anxiety, out of depression, out of fear. We got tears flying around everywhere. You have white people reactionarily coming up with fucking protests that are probably not going to work out well. Like, we're scrambling right now. And again, because we're so individualistic, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Whereas communities that actually have community, that can lean on each other, that have a history of growing together, of having strong familial ties, strong ancestral ties, are navigating this and been like, yeah, we knew this was coming. And we laid it out really fucking clear for everyone. And then, again, a lot of white people are reactionary, and now you feel abandoned. You feel like people don't like us anymore. Or what do you mean I'm not safe? I didn't do anything to you. When we collectively, 3 out of 5 white men voted for Trump, 1 out of 2 white women voted for Trump. That was a group decision. Royal Star talks about it. It was a group decision. And it fucking happened. And so if we want to make any forward movement, we have to take collective accountability for that shit and figure out how the fuck to work with each other, how to talk with each other, how to have community with each other. But we are so fractured as a people. We are so individualistic that all that fucking panic, anger, anxiety, chaos is either being turned internally, which will exacerbate symptoms of mental health, physical health, or it's being expressed outward, externally. And that external expression of chaos creates unsafe spaces for people that are not white. For people that said, hey, this is what the fuck is coming. This is how we can handle it. Here are solutions. And we just sit back and we're like, what happened? How did this happen? We have to have real honest conversations with ourselves and each other as European Americans. Because this reactionary shit is not cutting it. And now everyone, once again, is paying a massive fucking price because of
white supremacy. And that shit is also going to blow back on us. And that's what the fuck is happening.
Hello, Ashley. Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, my whole family voted for Trump. I voted for Trump. You can look it up. But I gotta say, not working out to my design. Not what I planned for. I'm on Medicaid. Okay? I'm on Social Security.
today's been
I
hard for you.
tried. No, you gotta understand. I'm a 38-year-old woman.
Yeah.
I worked hard through high school with cerebral palsy, Parkinson's disease, working my butt off to try and make sure that I became something for this American great country.
Yeah, listen.
Got nothing.
Here, listen.
My family voted for Trump.
I'm going to be honest. I think that you had more than enough
Where?
evidence.
I'm stuck on
listen.
Social Security.
Ashley, just listen real
Where?
quick. You had more than enough
All right.
reason and evidence before the election to like obviously come to the conclusion that as an individual on Medicare and Social Security, you should not have voted for Trump. Now, I also want to say for everybody like spamming like fuck around and find out in the chat. No. I also vehemently disagree with that. Nobody, regardless of who you voted for, even if you voted for Trump, if
I
you're
tried
reliant
to
on
help
like
my
Social
family.
Security and Medicare to like keep up a high quality of life, like I very vehemently disagree with like the motivation of like fuck around and find out.
And I tried hard. I tried really hard to work and make sure that my family could get supported. I went through college. I had a massage therapy degree. I worked my ass off every day since I was 14.
Do you regret your
And
vote
I
for Trump?
didn't. Yes, by all means.
Okay, Ashley.
My family regrets everything.
Ashley, I appreciate you for coming up. I feel very fucking bad for you. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I understand that, you know, on these lives, all we do is we talk about politics. All we do is we talk about like critical thought.
And all I wanted to do was to try and make something better.
If you just allow me to finish here real quick. I do understand, you know, like normal life, okay, outside of like these niched places on the internet. Like that, the same information and knowledge isn't propagated, and you damn well could have voted for Trump with good intention, and you know you're just now figuring out.
I voted for Kamala. I voted for Kamala when it came up to.
You voted for Kamala Harris.
I did. I voted for Kamala when it came into the presidential elections and everything with her, you know, inviting herself on the presidential candidate. And then when it came to the election, my family swayed me, and I unfortunately
Okay.
diverted myself, and I should have stuck to what was right.
Well, Ashley, I appreciate you for coming up. I'm so sorry that you are not having benefits taken away from yourself. You do not deserve that. And like hopefully we're able to get new congressmen and women in 2 years and a new president in 4 that can make things right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
of course. Have a good one, Ashley. My heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. And I mean that seriously. I mean, like, even if Ashley was just like a crazy radical, like, mega cultist, my heart would still go out to her. And I think, like, the whole, like, fuck around and find out promotion is, like, funny sometimes when it's about, like, smaller things. You know, like, gas goes up by 10 cents. Fuck around and find out, Connor and Colton. That's funny. Okay? That is funny. That is really funny. I will laugh my ass off at that. But like when it's about like Medicaid and Social Security to sustain one's quality of life, man, heartbreaking. Hello, Ash.